All right. It's Shalom, Shalom. Okay, this is your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, coming with another lesson through the Spirit. Lord willing, this be edifying to the Lord's elect. And before I get started with this lesson, man, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wachaha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, who teach well. Shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth, is laboring in the word, and is pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's soon to come. Shalom to the Yahweh that's listening in, is remaining true to the faith and remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes that scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth, to you Israelite foreigners out there who live among the heathen and who look like those heathen nations. All right, but your lineage goes back to the progenitors of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel through the line of your fathers. All right, I want to say peace and blessings to you all. Barak Atham. So, I was listening to this video from the beloved brothers out of Jersey. You know what I'm saying? And I believe this brother's name is Imal. And he was going into this this sort of trend, if you will, where these Edomite women, all right, these Edomite women are jumping on board, you know what I'm saying, to voice their love and adoration towards, all right, this so-called black man, all right, which we'll call the Israelite man. You know what I'm saying? We'll just straight up say the Israelite man. No one's black. All right. No one is black and no one is white. All right. Just want to say that. Okay. But in the grand scheme of things, all right, what we're seeing here is the shift that's happening as the beloved brother gets into in the video here. All right. There's a shift that's happening. Okay. And this shift is it's unavoidable. You know what I'm saying? You can't ignore it. You see what I'm saying? You cannot ignore it. And what we're seeing here is the response by these Edomite men, all right, in such a way that is actually working to the opposite of their intended results. You know what I'm saying? They're shaming these women. They're shaming their own women. They're shaming their the women of their families. You know what I'm saying? If they're found to be with a so-called black man or you know what I'm saying, so-called Mexican or what have you, either so-called black or brown, they call them mud sharks. That's what they do. And you know, is having the adverse effect. You know what I'm saying? So this is only speeding up the process. Okay, as I'm gonna share with you a couple of videos. This is it's hilarious. So I'm not gonna stay on the beloved brothers video for too long, but there's a couple clips in this video that he shares that I wanted to point out. All right. So without further ado, man, let's let me do this. I don't have any precepts lined up. I'm just rolling in the spirit. So let's see. Let's go to Lamentations. All right, Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 2. It reads, "The precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold, how are they esteemed as earthen pitchers, the work of the hands of the potter." You see what I'm saying? So, you know, the sons of Zion, the sons of Israel, sons of Yasher Allah, are fine gold, even more so. All right, as the scriptures say, that the Lord is going to make a man more precious than fine gold. So if the men of Yashar Allah, all right, on a low level, if the men of Yashar Allah on a very low level are being seen in such a way of being admired and adored, you see what I'm saying? How much more when the children of Israel, or the sons of Israel, beginning with the elect, the 144,000, all right, and the first fruits come into their positions of prestige, of regal position, you know what I'm saying, and status. How much more then? You see what I'm saying? So the sons of Zion, even from the highest of us to the lowest of us, all right, we're being seen in a much different light, all right, as Esau's kingdom continues to go down, further down the drain. You know what I'm saying? As the beloved brother Imal had mentioned. You know what I'm saying? So let's continue. Let's get this video going.
Let's play this video here.
And this fair use, all right, of the Copyright Act of 1976. All right, I'm not making any money from this content. All right, it's for educational purposes only. Fair use.
Hilarious.
Not all black men hold these traits. I don't think every black man walking is like this, because everyone's a human being in their own person, right? Also, races can also hold these. This is just my experience for the 100th time. When I am single and dating, I will consider all races. But let's get into it. Reason number one, dominance and masculinity. And this goes beyond their physical appearance, although it doesn't hurt. I love a man that is masculine, dominant in a healthy way. That provider energy. I don't got to tell them that they need to work. I don't need to take care of them. Without me, they're going to do fine. Reason number two, I don't have to tell them to bathe, ever. I spend a lot of money, time, and energy in my appearance, and I want my man to do the same. And cleaning themselves with a washcloth, big plus. I am neurodivergent. I also have trauma. So I do not want to walk on eggshells. I don't want passive aggressive. I just want you to tell me how it is. Black men do that. I don't ever have to question what they're thinking or if they're bothered. They're like, this is what's up, Stephanie. Which I also appreciate in the talking stage, because I never have to guess if a black man is actually into me. He lets me know right off the bat. The affection and intimacy and closeness is top of the line. Adult activity is more than just that. I feel like I'm more than just a body laying next to them. Gentleman level times 10. Open the door, open the car door. A year and a half that I've been with my man right now, I have never carried in a bag or a luggage. One time we had to switch rooms and he told me to go lay down, and he moved all of our stuff while I just laid in the bed like a little princess. I've never felt disrespected by a black man before. The character values and ethics for me has always been top notch in the black men I've known or dated, like even just friends. Now again,
and typically, you know what I'm saying, typically the type of men that she's describing, all right, in typical sense, it's mostly men that are of my age, you know what I'm saying, around my age or a little older, you know what I'm saying. Basically the 80s and the 90s babies, you know what I'm saying, around that time frame, man, you know what I'm saying. And you know, that's the batch, that's the last batch that pretty much pretty much grew up in a world where, you know, our women were a lot different, you know what I'm saying? We knew what femininity looked like, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't something new to us in terms of being chivalrous. So, you know, it happens a lot, you know what I'm saying? Even when I'm at the gym, you know what I'm saying? I see these Edomites, you know what I'm saying? These Edomite women check me out, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, it is what it is, man. It's funny. You know, it's funny to see, but clearly a shift is happening, man. All right? So let's keep going.
And not every black man's a great man. This is more than 5. But I love a man that's like protective and territorial in a healthy way. Not like you're not wearing that kind of thing, but like That's a lot of skin, Stephanie. It's not for everyone, but I love that. I've always been treated in such a respectful way that it makes me want to return that to them. Like, I want to match that energy. I love a man that I can just have natural chemistry and connection. I've also found that most black men that I come in contact with are just funny as hell. I love laughing. I love it.
Yeah, I hear that. Did
So
you hear them
this
talking
is,
about black men?
And the video goes on and on. I may play, depends on the time, this other woman. They all was interesting. In this video, yeah, I'm going to play her. This video, this is a channel that came up on my feed. Dre Lee, New York, S4W. This is the channel. I guess that's this guy here. You know, and we're going to play this. But, hey, those were the pluses, right? The green, right? Green flags for the so-called black man, which means those are red flags for the Edomite man. You know? And like I said, you don't know if these women are Jake or not, you know, but they're so in love with Jake. But we know the actual Edomite woman, she's losing her mind. Because I work around them at the plantation. I see them. And we can read the room when we walk in. These Edomite women are losing their mind.
They are they are definitely starting to lose their minds, man. And and that's you know, that's how this whole hypergamous type of nature with you women works. You know what I'm saying? And like the brother Ahmad was saying, you know, clearly in the spirit they can sense that their own men are falling. You know what I'm saying? That the system is falling apart. You know what I'm saying? Everything, like this the thing, man. They was already focused on Jake when Jacob was in chains. They was looking at Jake when we was in chains, man. You see what I'm saying? And so much so, you know, as Elder Malcolm brings out all the time, so much so that they had to pass miscegenation laws, right, to make sure that these Edomite women would stop, you know what I'm saying, dealing with the Israelite men. You see what I'm saying? They had to stop that. That's crazy work, man.
Jake, and it's it's upsetting the enemy, you know, that he got to watch his woman go through this. But this is all part of the curses, man, and it only gets worse from here for you Edomites, man. This is 2nd Ezra 6, verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? And that's what you're seeing. What you're seeing, their women coming over, these are all the times it's separating. Because the Edomite woman, she can sense in her spirit that the system that her men have built, she can look and say, in 20 years, this system is done. And she's looking at the power coming from the Israelite man. And she's hearing these videos. They're seeing the men of the Lord on the street. These videos are making it to who it got to make it to. And they're watching, they're listening. And they're looking at the vibration. You know, women can read the room too. They read the energy too. And they saying, you know, what if these guys are right? What if they go into the top? What if this man who we call Jesus, what if his name is Yahweh Shai? He's a black man. He's coming back to save them and to put our men in slavery. They're actually scratching their head about these times that's falling apart.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And excuse me. And like I said, they're watching their men falling in their prestige. They're falling in their respect around the world. They're just falling. You know what I'm saying? All right. And these women don't get a pass. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But you gotta know what's really happening in the spirit world, man. Okay? Because these Edomite men, they're watching this and they see, and they're noticing that it's not just their own women, which is bad enough, but they're watching all these other women around the world beginning to voice their preference, and their preferences are shifting to so-called black men, so-called brown men. You see what I'm saying? The Israelite man is being is what the whole the whole desire is being shifted towards. All right, Esau is no longer the hunk of the planet. Jacob has caught his heels.
So there's two worlds running right now. You have Esau's world, which is getting smaller and smaller every day. And then you have Yahushua's world, called Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and the Lord's elect, whose world is getting bigger. And it's becoming more of a reality now. It's becoming more of a reality. So it says, then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first? And we're watching the end now. This place is done. The rules, regulation, the court system, the schools. This place is done. The colleges, the hospitals. Nothing is working right. This man can't build a car. He lying about going to space. All that. Everything. Look at your president. I mean, this place is just done. You Edomites are looking bad out here, man. And now your woman she's fleeing. She's jumping ship, man. And it says, and the beginning, see, this is our world right here. This is our world. The beginning. The end of you, Esau, means the beginning for us. So we ain't losing. You losing. We are winning. It says, and the beginning of it that followeth, which is Yahushua. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac unto Jacob, and Esau were born of him. Jacob's hand held first the hill of Esau, because there was a war between us. For Esau is the end of the world. We at your end. And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And the women are seeing that. At least the women that got their, head screwed on straight. Eve she don't even see that she's under a spell. She's still under this damn devil spell, man. While the rest of these women, they getting it. And they looking at the so-called black man in a different light.
Y'all gotta listen to this one right here. This chick, all right, this is an embarrassment to you Edomites, man. Listen to a woman like this, and she's one of those real pretty girls, all right, that these Edomites actually care about. Like, they care about a woman's opinion who looks like this. You know what I'm saying? So this hurts them bad. Check this out.
It's just pure confidence, pure love and sense of self. Like, the black men that I've been so privileged to be around, learn from, to serve, they know their...
She said privileged. She said privileged. She said serve. Imagine that word coming out of you so-called black women's mouths. To serve a man, let alone the so-called black man. You see what I'm saying? Yo, that shift is coming, man. Isaiah 4:1. Listen, y'all better get with the program now, bro, because it's about to get real.
Confidence, pure love and sense of self. The black men that I've been so privileged to be around, learn from, to serve. They know their power. They know their talent. They know that nobody else could be them. They know that everybody that there's just this reverence for them, and that stale pale males have certainly an inferiority complex about it, but that women just naturally gravitate to it. It's a natural dominance, a natural powerful masculinity. They never have to overcompensate. And I feel like I knew in my soul that I loved black men before I could even articulate why, or what the reason was, what the pull was. Black men they deserve everything. They deserve everything they could ever want. They deserve love and loyalty and respect. And I just feel so at home in myself, being honest about how much I love black men, how much I think about black men all the time, and just want them to be just literally fucking worshipped for existing.
Yeah, wow,
the
that's
talent,
that's
the creativity.
Damn. Damn. Hey, this is something else, man. I had to let y'all listen to that one. That part right there, wee. I know there's a Edomite that's listening to this, and he's just pulling his hair out, man. It's like, this is, y'all Edomites is going down bad, and y'all, and you gonna understand when I show you this these next videos. You know what I'm saying? And y'all gonna get it, man. Let's get this in Ezekiel chapter 17, verse. Let's see. Let's start at verse 22. It reads, "Thus saith the Lord Power, I will also take of the highest branch of the highest cedar, and will set it. I will crop off from the top of his young twigs a tender one, and will plant it upon an high mountain and eminent." All right, this is talking about the restoration of of Jacob. You see what I'm saying? Of the children of Israel, man. We about to be put back on top. We about to be put back on top. You know what I'm saying? Verse 23. "In the mountains of the height of Yasher Allah will I plant it, and it shall bring forth boughs and bear fruit." You see what I'm saying? Of the increase of Yahweh's government, there shall be no end, man. You see what I'm saying? "And bear fruit, and it shall and be a goodly cedar, and under it shall dwell all fowl of every wing. In the shadow of the branches thereof shall they dwell." You see what I'm saying? So this whole government of the tabernacle of David is going to be established. It's going to be established. There's going to be a kingdom of heaven on earth, man. On earth as it is in heaven. It's going to be peace and tranquility. Is going to be heaven on earth, man. You see what I'm saying? With all of our laws being instituted, with all of our laws being mandated, you know what I'm saying, being the law of the land, this truth is going to flourish, man. You see what I'm saying? And as a result, all the other nations are going to benefit from this. All the other nations. Verse 24. "And all the trees of the field, all the other nations, all the trees of the field shall know that I, the Lord Yahweh, has brought down the high tree." Who's in this height right now? You Edomites. You're the high tree. "And they shall know that I, the Lord, have brought down the high tree, have exalted the low tree." The low tree is the Israelites. Right now, we're at the bottom. We're at the very bottom right now, man. But we're about to be exalted and put high. All right, as the Lord said, I shall set them in order before thine eyes. Right? Well, it's happening right now. It's beginning to happen now, man. "And brought down the high tree, and have exalted the low tree, have dried up the green tree, and have made the dry tree to flourish." You see what I'm saying? We were dried, and y'all were flourishing. Now you're about to be the dried up, dead tree, and we're going to be the green tree that's flourishing. I, the Lord, have spoken and have done it. You see what I'm saying? So
that's powerful, because we are about to be worshipped. And by the way, there's nobody black on planet Earth.
Absolutely. So let me show you these other videos, all right? And I'll get up out of here, because the time is just going super fast. I won't even realize that it's an hour that gone by. It's already 24 minutes in. Check this out. All right. So I'm gonna share this. Yeah, this is hilarious, man. So I'm gonna get this video started. Again, fair use. Okay. You just gotta read this, man. It's so funny. That's crazy. You just straight up say race mixing is evil. Oh, shit.
Racists are the only group of people who can see a white woman that they think is pretty and immediately their mind goes to black meat. Racists are the only people who can see a beautiful white woman, and their first thought after seeing a beautiful white woman is, dang, it would be so tough. It would be so tough if she was getting cracked by a black guy, though. I just think that's like such a weird like mental illness to have, because genuinely never in my life have I looked at a woman I thought was attractive and I thought to myself, dang, I really hope she's not getting cracked by a Mexican. Like it's never even crossed my mind before, you know what I mean? Like, I've never looked at a woman and thought about meat before in my life, you know what I mean? And I just gotta think and like try to empathize with these racists and think like, how messed up and deranged do you have to be? What type of hell do you have to live in up here in your head to see a beautiful woman and think about meat? You know what I mean? Like,
And it's very important what he just said right there. All right? It's very important what he just said. What kind of a hell do you have to be living in your mind to when you see this is a very beautiful woman, a gorgeous woman, and immediately your mind goes to, is she sleeping with black men? You see what I'm saying? Has she ever slept with a black man? Has she ever kissed a black man before? You know what I'm saying? Like, to have that thought come to your mind is very sickening. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna get into a definition that fits this.
Here in your head to see a beautiful woman and think about meat. You know what I mean? Like, maybe they're not mentally deranged. Maybe they're just gay. You know what I mean? Like, because, you know what I mean? I don't even think gay people see a beautiful woman and think about meat. I don't even think they do that. You know, and they like meat. I don't even think they see boobies and they think meat. Like, I don't think that happens for them. They just see boobies and see boobies. You know what I mean? But you're on some other spectrum to where women is linked to dick. I don't understand that. I can't really wrap my mind around it, honestly.
That's crazy, right? So let's go to the next video. Bear with me.
Now, allegedly, that woman in that video was actually one of them racist folks that be online talking about some never mix. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if this is from her actual TikTok or if someone took a video of this woman, right? Took a video of this woman and then put never mix, right? But according to the comments that were on Twitter, they were saying that she would post that type of content. But I have no idea if she posts that type of content. I just want to full discretion. I don't know. But if that is the case, that she did post that type of content, then popped out like this, all I gotta say is this. These women online have figured out that if they race bait and do like this OF type content, but they play into like the never mix stuff, they'll get a huge influx of these racist incel men who feel some type of superiority over black people because they're white, right? They feel that superiority, but inside, well, all racists are losers, but they're real super losers, and they're incels, and they're gooners. They're just taking advantage of you. I've made a video like this before where I've said, do y'all not realize when y'all make these mud shark comments and mud shark videos and all these hate comments that you're literally leading your own white women into the arms of a black man? Because they look at you and they're like, why is this man so insecure about black men? What's the big deal about black men? Let me go try out a black man. And then they get with a black man and they stay with the black man. They have the black babies. And then that's what makes y'all so mad. It's like an endless cycle. You are the perpetuator of your own suffering. Because the fact that you keep making these mud shark comments makes the white women wonder what's so good about the black man. So then they go try a black man and they leave you. And that's what you're mad about, that they leave you for the black man. So you make the mud shark comment again. And then the cycle just keeps going and over and over and over.
Right. So what, just as he brought out in the previous video, okay, what he said there that was very important. He said, what kind of a hell do you have to be living in your mind to be focused squarely on so-called black men's dick? You see what I'm saying? This is why where all this this is where all this cuck type of content is constantly watched by them, where all these interracial videos is watched primarily by them. It's sad. It's really sad how Esau's going out. It truly is. You see what I'm saying? But the perfect word that describes what we're seeing here is a fixation. All right? Let's look up the word fixation here. Fixation. All right? One more time. Let's listen to it. Fixation. A fixation. All right? This is what they have. A fixation is an obsession or an obsessive preoccupation. An obsessive, all right? An obsessive preoccupation. So they are preoccupied obsessively about this so-called black dick, brown dick. You see what I'm saying? And it always has to be emphasized. Why is this? All right, when they was hanging, when they were lynching, when they were doing all these things to these so-called black and brown men, what were they constantly doing? They were constantly castrating them. Why the fixation on it? You see what I'm saying? Why is that? It's because the inferiority complex, it's not a superiority complex, all right? Deep down, what they have is an inferiority complex. They are inferior and they know it, and they don't want to believe it because it goes directly against everything that they were taught. You see what I'm saying? So it says an obsessive preoccupation, a strong attachment to a person or a thing manifested in an immature or pathological way. Again, a strong attachment to a person or thing manifested in an immature, all right, these are incels, these are jokers that's inside their parents' basement, you know what I'm saying? These are the types of the dudes that's gooners, you see what I'm saying? Like literally this video game came out, right? This video game called Pragmata. All right, and it's a wonderful game coming from Capcom, and it's about a father-daughter type of relationship. All right, the daughter is what is pretty much perceived as a daughter figure, I should say, is actually an android. Okay, and would you believe that there was such an outcry towards Capcom in not allowing mods because these men wanted to modify the game to allow them to look up her skirt, to allow them to look up her you see what I'm saying? This is what we're talking about here, man. All right? Incels, gooners, all types of goofy shit. And so when they see their own women who are in their own ways fixated upon black men, so-called, what they do is it feeds that inferiority complex. Okay? And then it morphs, it warps into something something degenerative. You know what I'm saying? It warps into something sick. You know what I'm saying? Depraved. All right? Depraved, as the scriptures say, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau. You know what I'm saying? So again, a strong attachment to a person or a thing manifested in an immature or pathological way. All right? So with that, let me show you the last video.
Still don't think white men are obsessed with black men. I have a story for you. One of my friends was dating this guy back in California, and when they were hooking up, he literally told her to say Black Lives Matter. And she was like, what the fuck? Because this guy was like a leftist, or he was left-leaning. And she literally stopped it, pulled her out of the moment, and she was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, oh, like, I need you to say that, or I need you to say that, like, you've dated black men in the past, and like, I'm nothing compared to them. And these men have like humiliation kinks, and they enjoy being compared to black men because it's a sexual thing for them. And it just shows how much sexual fetishes are shaped by racism. As white men, even though they're on the left,
Let's take that back.
I need you to say that, or I need you to say that, like, you've dated black men in the past, and like, I'm nothing compared to them. And these men have like humiliation kinks, and they enjoy being compared to black men because it's a sexual thing for them. And it
So it's a sexual kink to be seen in as inferior now. This is how bad it's getting. All right. This is how bad Esau's fallen. It says the fetishization, and it doesn't. And this is the thing. This is the thing. She's talking about someone who's identifying as a liberal. She's talking about somebody who's identifying as a leftist, if you will. All right. Well, here's the thing. What we're seeing here is coming from both spectrums. It doesn't matter if you're progressive or conservative. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. This kink is real. This propensity is real, man. You see what I'm saying? Again, fixation. Right?
Fixation.
A strong attachment to a person or thing manifested in an immature or pathological way. And this is a pathological thing that we're seeing. All right. The fetishization, I should say, the fetishization of black masculinity. This is how white people objectify black men as more masculine and sexually potent than our white counterparts. All right. Because here it is, they know what they're looking at. They're looking at all these statistics saying that their numbers are dwindling, that they're going down in their birth rates, their fertility rates. And here it is, they're not making any babies. They're not knocking up their women. But these so-called black men and brown men are knocking up their women. Israelite men are knocking up your women without any problems. No problems whatsoever. You see what I'm saying? As the Lord said, I have made Esau bare. All right. And he also said what? He also said that thou shalt, I have made thee small among the heathen. Let me get that in Obadiah real quick. All right. This is Obadiah chapter 1, verse 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. Okay?
nothing compared to them. These men have like humiliation.
Let me take that back a little bit.
Still don't think white men are obsessed with black men. I have a story for you. One of my friends was dating this guy back in California, and when they were hooking up, he literally told her to say Black Lives Matter. And she was like, what the fuck? Because this guy was like a leftist, or he was left-leaning. And she literally stopped it, pulled her out of the moment, and she was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, oh, like, I need you to say that, or I need you to say that, like, you've dated black men in the past, and like, I'm nothing compared to them. And these men have like humiliation kinks, and they enjoy being compared to black men because it's a sexual thing for them. And it just shows how much sexual fetishes are shaped by racism. As white men, even though they're on the left, that are using this as a way to get off, it's very, very uncomfortable. And it shows how deeply this fetishization is rooted in white culture. There weren't even black people in the room. It was just two white people, and yet during sex, they're talking about a black man. And trust me, this is not even close to the worst thing that people are saying out there.
Facing race pressure. All right, facing race pressure. Enduring legacies of fetishization and consuming the black body. This is crazy work, man. This here is crazy work. I'm sorry for stopping her. And this dude right here is about to give his 2 cents on this subject matter. But let me get this in the AI overview. It reads, Fixation refers to a persistent concentration or an obsessive preoccupation with something or someone, often to an unhealthy degree. You see what I'm saying? So this is a sad thing, man. It also says it can also describe the act of maintaining one's gaze on a single location in visual context. All right. So in this perspective, it's talking about squarely a person, okay, or a people. Okay, the scriptures tell you in the book of Genesis, the 25th chapter, that one people shall be stronger than the other. Okay, so who do you think is stronger? Who do you think is weaker? You see?
We're talking about a black man. And trust me, this is not even close to the worst thing that people are saying out there. All I'll say is do not go on Twitter and search up anything related to fetishization of black people. And it's not just conservative men doing this, it's a lot of men on the left as well.
On everything, I am so grateful that I am incapable of thinking and feeling like an oppressor. That has to be one of the most weirdest experiences in the world, to hate something, but at the same time you lust over it so bad that you fetish being dominated by the thing that you hate. I don't even know what I just said. I don't know if it makes sense, but I think this is how white men think. This is how I feel that your brain is wired. I don't get it. And no wonder these white women are exposing you. I think like all white men, for the most part, have some type of kinky diary they keep and write notes on the things they fetish over and fantasize. I think, yeah, y'all got like a kinky diary or something. This is weird. Yeah. All you Chud the Builders and Jeffrey Epsteins, we on to y'all.
Real quick. Bear with me. All right. So last video, okay, fair use. You know, I tell you this, man. When I say that the women of the world are seeing this, when the women of the world are seeing a difference, okay, is no exaggeration. All right. Even Elam is able to look at Jacob and see the difference between them and us and their own men. All right. So check this out.
Advice to Indian guys is learn from black dudes. Because these men really know how to take you on a date. Every time I went on a date with a black guy, top notch. They take you like good places, good restaurant, expensive restaurant. You don't even have to think about anything. Everything is set, planned, and well executed. They open the door for you. They do everything top notch. And I was just listening to some Afro beats and some rap music, and every time it's just about how they want to spoil their women and how much they want to take care of them. And I'll be listening to some Bollywood music, and it's all about like sacrifice, and I'll give my arm, and like just shut the fuck up, okay? We don't really need that arm, and like we just need to be treated well. So Indian dudes, please take note from these black guys.
It's what it's coming to, man. It's what it's coming to, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, the shift is here. The shift is taking place. Isaiah 4:1 is right at the door. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's already seeing that there's a difference between the Israelite man and the Edomite man. You know what I'm saying? And these jokers are on the decline. They're on the decline, man. Right? So, you know, I want to share one more video, you know what I'm saying? But let me do that. Bear with me. Then I'll get my last precept. All right. So this one right here is going to take us home.
What I would say very simply is that those of us who are born with this pigmentation have certain privileges, things we can take for granted. We have the safety, the security. So we don't want to lose this. Now, this also means that, and here's the unpleasant part, that so much of our safety, security status comes from putting down black people, saying we're not like them. We're Europeans. We're more highly evolved. We've got talents they don't have. And that's where you get, the flip side of this, which really is the ugly side of racism.
Well, how much does sex and sexuality really have to do with race relations, particularly between white men and black men?
Well, if you take white men and black men, let's take it two ways.
Okay.
If a white man is walking down the street and he sees a couple, a very attractive black man, really masculine, and with him a very attractive white woman, very white, we'll make her blonde, He looks at that woman and he wonders, this is the white man, what does she see in him? What do they do together? And it really drives us up the wall, because she's a woman who could choose, a white guy, but she chooses a black guy. And that really bothers us. And as a result, what we want to do is some way take that black man away, because we begin to say, hey, is she having a better time with him, in various ways than she can with me. And so he's competition for us. And you know how people react to competition.
Right. So let me end this off with the book of Ecclesiasticus, or the book of Sirach, chapter 10 and verse 31. It reads, "He that is honored in poverty, how much more in riches? And he that is dishonorable in riches, how much more in poverty?" And that tells us everything, man. That tells us everything. If Jacob is being honored in poverty, you saw that one woman. She said, so-called black men should be worshipped. She said she was privileged to date them, to date Jacob. She said she enjoyed serving. You see what I'm saying? These are not words that are small meaning. All right. This is a means of royalty. You know what I'm saying? Royal talk. You know what I'm saying? Honor. All right. Distinguishment. You see? So again, he that is honored in poverty, how much more in riches? And he that is dishonorable in riches, how much more in poverty? You see what I'm saying? Because this man here, all right, this man, he was going into all the privileges that so-called white men have. All these privileges, all these things that they're able to utilize, all these things that they have at their disposal. And here it is, their own women still go to the one that is at the bottom. That says everything about these Edomites, man. Again, he that is honored in poverty, how much more in riches? And he that is dishonorable in riches, how much more in poverty? So I'm gonna cut that there. I pray this lesson was edifying to the Lord's elect. All right. I pray I pray this lesson was edifying to the Lord's elect. Mine got jumbled real quick. Salakia. I want to close this out by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Wachah HaKodash. All right, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, whom I've grown in this truth under. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom to Wild Allah.